Hey everyone, welcome to the video. I'm Amy and I post 3 videos a week. I post a lot of foundation wear tests, a lot of full face first impressions, a lot of full face one brands, and sometimes I post a little video I like to call Worth the Hype. And that's what we're doing in today's video. Today's video is all about the brand Glossier. They have been in the makeup space at the top, at the forefront, highly Googled for years now, and I finally picked up a full face, and I want to know, are you worth the hype? So let's find out. All right, first things first, let's try out the Balm DotCom. I got the mint version. Oh my gosh, look, my nails match this part and the cap matches my shirt. I did not plan this, but wow, what a coinky dink. It feels nice. It's kind of a thin texture. I like the mintiness to it. It is quite minty. If you don't like mint or like that plumping sensation, you won't like it. But the portion right here that you rub on your lips is very rough, so that's why I had to go in with my finger. I could not rub this on my lip. That's very rough. I mean, even if they didn't go with the same kind of applicator that the like Laneige one that I always use has, they could have at least like smoothed out the top, you know. But obviously I like the packaging. It's super cute, and so far so good. It feels like a good like everyday just keep on you kind of situation. Now we are going to put on the Glossier Future Dew. Again, packaging 10 out of 10. I have used this a couple times, but I haven't used it in like a side-by-side manner or anything like that, so I don't know how it really affects my makeup too much, but we're gonna put it on today. I'm gonna do like 1.5 pumps. It's got this like kind of color to it and it looks very glossy. I'm already quite glowy, so it smells very much like essential oils kind of vibe. Feels nice. It's got like a, it's like slippy, like oily, but also it's kind of got a grip, like it's gonna stay there. Looking super dewy. For my complexion, I did not pick up their skin tint because I do have the MAC Face and Body, the new one, and I feel like I wouldn't want anything less than that. You know what I mean? And I have the the Milani Glow one, and that's really light coverage. Like, I don't think that I would ever use the Glossier one, so I was like, I don't want to buy it just to buy it. But I did pick up the concealer. I've heard a lot of people rave about this, and Katie Jane Hughes uses it a lot. I got the shade G11, which I don't think is the lightest shade, but I got it to be more like an all-over situation than like an under-eye brightening thing. Let me go ahead and just swatch the color. Okay, it's a really creamy and thin, so it looks like it'll be an alright color since it's so thin. So I'm gonna use the KJH in Spectrum number 8. We'll see. I do have my sponge here as well, just in case. Okay. The texture actually kind of reminds me of the Becca under eye corrector, where it kind of melts when you touch it, but instead of it being like a iridescent pink color, it's like skin toned. I think you can see it's kind of knocking down the redness a little. From the monitor, I feel like it did a really good job of looking really natural, but evening out my skin tone. Like, the redness isn't as red, the dark circle around my eye isn't as dark, but you can still totally see through it. You can see my freckles, you can see my dark spots. It hid some of the redness around my nose. So we'll see. Up close, same thing, honestly, up close. I would say, if anything, like, I thought I would be able to see the brush strokes, but I can't at all. But I do think it looks like quite dewy. So even on my dry skin, I feel like I would probably set this. I think what I want to try to do actually is press it a little bit with my sponge to see if I can like push it down into my skin a little bit more. I don't think it looks like it's on top of my skin, but just like dewy wise, it feels like kind of floating. So I want to just press, I'm gonna pull up any of the excess that I might have. I don't feel like I used too much though. It took up a tiny little bit. It feels a lot more secure on my face. If you are someone that really loves a dewy finish and you love a lot of dew, you might be familiar with that feeling where it's like, oh, this might be a little too much. I'm curious now to try it without the Future Dew, if it'll be just enough. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the Future Dew needs to be used with something that's more dry to make it a little bit more dewy, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go ahead and do this side now. This cheek does get a little bit more red, and I do have this healing acne here, so I'm curious to see what happens with that. So same situation. I think it did pretty good. Obviously you can still see the healing acne, but it didn't cling to it too badly or make anything. I think because it has such a light amount of pigment and a lot of the emolliency to it, it kind of is hydrating the area and the pigment isn't getting stuck there or anything. I want to see what it's like if I take a little bit of a sponge and press it, because when I did pat it on, it covered up a little bit more, but I had to blend. So maybe a little bit more. Yeah, maybe it gave like a little bit more coverage, but I don't think it would be worth it. I personally do like pressing it into my skin afterwards. I just feel like it feels better, but like I said, it might just be because I'm putting those two really dewy products on top of each other. So far so good. I think the color is a pretty good color for me if I'm going to use it in this way. For sure, G11. Next, what I picked up was another cloud paint. I already had Puff, and I've picked up Beam. I feel like these two are like my shades of blush, so I thought these would be good like on their own, mixed together. I don't need more blush, but I need more blush, you know what I mean? Also, before I put this on though, before I decide like how I'm gonna put it on, the lip product that I have for today is one of the new Glossier, what are they calling them? Ultralip. It says Ultralip on the side here. I was like, what? And I got the shade Portrait because I tried not to watch reviews before I got it, but then after I'd already purchased it, I watched reviews, and it's probably too colorful for me. Let me show you it. Before I pick out my blush, I wanted to show you guys and myself a swatch of this. Alright, it's a little bit more pigmented than I was thinking, but I do think it is still a quite nice color for me. So I'm going to swatch the blushes next to it. We've got the Ultralip in Portrait, the blush in Beam, and then the blush in Puff. I definitely thought the Puff would match this a little bit more. It's not. It's a little bit like too close to matching but too far. So I think I am gonna go with Beam because I think that'll be a nice like contrast. I'm gonna just start with this amount that's already on my hand, and I'm gonna just use a clean side of my sponge to pick up what's there. This will not be enough to do anything, but I want to use what's on my cheek, so All right, we need more. More beam, please. Now remember, this is probably gonna mix a little bit with the redness of my cheeks, just because I don't have like a full coverage situation underneath. I just have the concealer, the stretch concealer. I had to change my battery, and while I was at it, I went ahead and added a little bit of the Mario bronzer, the Makeup by Mario bronzer, to kind of ground that. Sorry, the clouds are rolling in and out. My lighting keeps changing. I think that looks pretty good. Have a cat hair somewhere here. There it is. I need to kind of set my base down because I'm getting too attractive. Oh my goodness. For all the little fuzzies. To do that setting, I'm going to use my current favorite, the Charlotte Tilbury powder, the Airbrush Flawless. Alright, I'm going to take the KJH number 8 brush, yeah, the other one that came in the collection, and go under my eyes. I don't feel like it's really creasing under there because it's so emollient, it kind of just moves with your skin. I just need to set it so I'm not as sticky for the cat hairs. So, I don't know if you can see it. I feel like you can't see the blush as well as I can, but let's hope you can. It's a pretty peachy color, but it's so sheer that it fits very naturally on my skin. It doesn't look too bright or anything like that. I'm gonna go off camera and do my brows, and then I'll put the lip on and we'll have like an idea of like a full Glossier look, and then I might add shadow and mascara after the fact, after I see what this lip looks like on my lips. If that makes sense. So let me go do my brows and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back and I have brows on. I used the M Cosmetics brow cream in blonde. Now onto this lip. I have been anticipating this Ultralip for a while now. I don't smell anything. I did wipe off my lip balm. I really like that lip balm actually. So let's try this. Alright, here we go. Okay. It's bright, but it's honestly not as bright as I was thinking it was going to be. Because it is so sheer, I really thought that this brightness was going to be way too intense. It's still quite intense. This is not an everyday lip for me. But if I did a lip focused eye or a lip focused look, I don't feel like it's horrible. Let me maybe get a lip liner to ground it down a little bit. Okay, this one is this is Natasha Denona lip liner and Natasha. This is one of her newer ones. They're a little bit more creamy, but it's like a nudie gray pink. Yeah. I feel like that helps a lot. And then take this. How does that feel to you? I feel like this lip is too colorful for this light of a coverage and everything. Let me take my hair down. Maybe I will feel differently. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like my face is like missing something, you know? Maybe I'm just not meant to be a Glossier girl. And I even like coverage, but what do we think? I mean, I love the finish of my skin. I love the way it looks. I think the lip is just a little bit too much. I did also get their gloss. This gloss people have raved about for what feels like centuries. I'm gonna just throw it on. That's not what I was expecting at all. Hold on. Hold on. Oh no. It's so sticky, guys. Not on my lips, but like on itself when I was just trying to wipe that off. Hold on. This is too much, right? This is too much. This is too much. Oh my gosh, I'm stressing out. Let me wipe this off. I mostly wiped off. Taking the lip liner again. We're gonna try just the gloss. I don't know. I don't like this gloss. Looks real juicy, okay? I will give you that. But it's got so much pull. And it feels like it's like too gloopy to where it wants to push to the outside of my lips. I don't like that. I'm gonna keep it on because I do think this lip looks a little bit better with, I don't know, guys. I really like the way this feels, the Ultralip. I just feel like this is too colorful for me. Let me just tap a little over. Like this is probably more so the kind of way I would wear it, where I would just kind of lightly tap it over, or I feel like I would have to be wearing a more full coverage face so that I could hide the redness of my cheeks, because I feel like it accentuates the redness of my cheeks, which some people may be down to play into. I don't like to do that. So I don't know. I am gonna go off camera and go ahead and just put some eyeshadow on. I'm probably gonna just do something like sparkly and some mascara so that I can feel like my face is a little bit more finished, and then we will talk about my final thoughts on everything I tried here today. So now I've got eyeshadow on. I put on the lighter top astral shade from the Divine Rose 9. Yes, 9 Utopian Dream. I put on that shade, and I used a little tiny bit of this shade here to go under my eye, just to give it a little bit of a shape. And then Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. Final thoughts. Let me look a little closer right now. I've been wearing this for a little bit now, maybe like an hour, and let's see. Let me just like break this down one by one. The primer, I think it looks, well, Future Dew Oil Serum Hybrid. This is part of your skincare, a primer, a highlighter, whatever you decide for it. As a primer, I think it looks really good underneath this. And even on the parts of my skin that have like no coverage, I think it looks really nice. I'm curious to see it with other foundations. I have tried it with like a tiny handful, like 2 or 3 different foundations, but I don't have like solid thoughts on this specifically. So I want to keep trying it out and trying it in different ways. I think it is something that I will like and something that I will use, you know? But you know, I'm not, it's hard for me to wear primers and highlighting things because I do try out so many different foundations and I want to see what the foundation does. So keep that in mind. But I do like this. Oh, the first thing I actually tried was the Balm DotCom. I really liked this. I liked the scent flavor. I liked the feeling, the tingly feeling of it. It didn't last too long. It didn't hurt or irritate my lips. I felt like it looked really nice and it was really comfortable. I could see myself definitely using this, obviously. I love the packaging of this. I think that's hilarious. I did not, maybe I like, in my mind, I subliminally tricked myself into wearing this combination today, but like this, I think I really like this. I think it's not something like, again, like I said, that I would use as like a holy grail product, but if I find a full coverage partner for it to cover up my cheeks, I feel like it could come to that in my collection. So I like that. I'm glad that I picked this up and not the skin tint, because I just feel like this is way more up my alley than the skin tint. I don't like to apply makeup with my hands. Yeah, I think I made the right choice there. Okay, the blushes. Now, I've already had Puff. I've used it in one video, and I've used it a handful of times. I do like the colors and the textures and the formulas of these. I will say that I think that Beam is a bit more of a sheer color. So if you are more fair, or you are new to creams and you aren't sure that you're scared to go overboard, I do feel like Beam was a lot easier to work with. I think they were both easy to work with, but I think this one was a lot less scary. It slowly built up a little bit. Every little bit of what I put on my hand, I used on my face, and I honestly think I could probably put more on my face because this is a cheek product that your cheeks will kind of eat up. So it's not a super long lasting thing in my opinion. I would say that if you want to try a formula that's very similar to these, the Flower Beauty blush bombs, these are 100% worth the hype. I tried this out before I tried these, and now these seem like wildly expensive, if that makes sense. So if you, I mean, I don't think, this is the shade Pinched, and I don't think Puff or Beam are the matching shade because this shade is a little bit more neutral. These are a little bit more colorful. But if you want to try something that's similar to these, but you don't want to break the bank, I would try this. I think you've gotten my ideas on the Ultralip. I really like the formula. I like the way it feels. I like the way it looks on the lips, but I do think that this color is maybe just a little bit too much for me. I think I would like it if I had a more full coverage, or at least medium coverage on my face, because it is similar to some other things in my collection. Like I'm thinking of, I have a L'Oreal Color Riche that's in the shade Watermelon that I really like to wear in the summertime. It gives me that like popsicle lip. The Pat McGrath Lip Fetish Divino Lip Shine in Electric Lotus, I think is what it's called. It's giving me very similar vibes to those items, and I do like it. I just think, see, I mean, even that little bit, it gave me a little bit of a pinkness to my lips, I think. But because of the formula, you're gonna want to rub this on your lips a lot more. I do wish they would expand this color range. I know they came out with actually quite a few, but the only one that's a little bit more pale and nude is more on the tan side, and I like something that's a little bit more mauvey pink, which is why I went with this one. So I would like if they came out with one that's kind of in between Portrait and something with a T. I don't know, I didn't buy that one, so I don't know that color. And the last thing, the gloss. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is one of those things that all of my years of watching YouTube, people have always raved about this. Even if they didn't really like Glossier as a brand, even if they didn't like, and you know, the products that they had tried from Glossier, this was always one of the things that it was like, but I do love their lip gloss. Yes, it is very shiny and very juicy, but it's very thick and very sticky, and I don't like that. I like it to feel like a gel. I like it to feel creamy or hydrating. This just felt like it was sitting on top of my lips, and I even now looking at it from afar, looks nice, looks juicy. When I look up close, the inside of my lips are not juicy anymore. Like the top half of my lip is not glossy, and then my lip liner is like all gloss. It's like it's pushing its way outside of my lips. Hate that in a gloss. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on this full face of Glossier. I finally did it. Is Glossier worth the hype? I'm gonna say no. I don't think that Glossier is worth the hype. Even though I do enjoy some of the products and do really like most of the products that I tried here, I don't think, like I already said about the blushes, there's definitely a dupe out there for those. Even this lip balm, like I mentioned, there are several other kinds of other brands, even affordable brands, that have things like this. So even though this is really nice, and if they came out with a better color for me, I might pick it up. I don't think it's like worth the hype. You could totally get something similar. I recently heard Kaki saying that in her mind, Glossier kind of got this hype and this reputation because they were the first people doing lightweight, skincare focused, skin focused makeup. So it was a moment in makeup history, right? Totally worth the hype. I do think they've kind of kept the hype, the internet craze kind of hype, but there are so many other brands that are doing this type of thing now that I don't think that Glossier is the only place that you can get it. So that's how I feel about the hype of Glossier. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!